Yeah, disappointed. Yeah, I mean, we can't. It wasn't our best performance by any stretch, at least on the attacking side. I thought we defended brilliantly. I thought Macy and KK were unbelievable tonight. But we can't concede like that, to be quite honest. I'm just going to be straight up. But we learn from it, and you get a point against the top team in the league. As I said to the group after the game, we had 3 or 4 chances in the first half that we probably need to put away, and at least 2 of them, and that changes the game, and we didn't, and that's just inexperience. That's whatever it is. But there's not much. You shouldn't drop your head when you tie the top of the table team, but when you're at home and you have them on the ropes in the last little bit, you got to see the game out. And it's a bit disappointing.
Tonight was the 4th largest regular season attendance in club history. The support this year from fans has been just record levels across the board. What does it mean to have that support week in and week out this season?
It's the same thing I answer every single time that question's asked. I mean, I don't know how many times I have to say it. It's fantastic. It's tremendous. It's what we need. And again, when we have people like that, the fans in the stands, then we need to make them cheer and make them want to come back and entertain them. And I feel like it was an entertaining game overall. But yeah, it's our job to make sure that they keep coming back. But it's great that we're asking this question every single week, because that means it's good. But I'm going to answer the same time every week. So.
Questions, Frank?
To talk about the first half where you guys were really on the offensive side. Like you said, you weren't able to finish on a couple of opportunities, but you had Orlando on the ropes, in the first half.
I thought we were poor in the first half. I thought they had us on the ropes. They had us pinned back. The couple of chances we created, we had them on the ropes. When we connected a few passes, we were able to just so aggressive in the spaces that they were stepping into that it made it really difficult for us to even get a rhythm. Look, they're a well-built roster. With experience. They're champs. They're athletic. They're aggressive in their actions. We just lacked the movement behind to keep them pinned back. And when Monaco was dropping in to get it, it just became difficult because Kylie was just dropping in with her, and it was just making it really tough for Monaco. And because we weren't stretching behind, it made that a little bit more difficult. But yeah, we had them on the ropes a couple of times when we were able to establish some type of rhythm and possession, but we didn't sustain that enough for us to be able to do it over a long period of time. So, it's again, but when you get 1 or 2 chances, you have to make the most of them, and we didn't. And it's a good goal we scored, but again, when you get these chances against top teams, you gotta bury them.
Fortunately, Casey Murphy made a big save at the end of the first half. Otherwise, Orlando may have scored on that goal.
I think anytime a shot goes in on the pipes, it's a chance of it going in, right? So, Casey's, look, at the end of the day, there was a moment. She was great all game, managed the game well, and sometimes the ball just doesn't bounce our way. And she's kept us in plenty of games all year in her career. So, as I said, we just move on. Like, it's part of it. It's not any particular thing that's one way or the other. We had chances on one side. They had a couple of chances on the other side. I thought we defended brilliantly. And that's a good sign, right? So, because we had to suffer. But yeah, I mean, when called upon, she made the save. It's just, at the end of the day, we let one in, and you hate dropping points like that. But I want them to experience what they feel right now. It's the only way you're going to get better. You have to experience these things. You can't expect every time teams come here, they're going to give us. That's probably the most aggressive a team has been against us at home, and they had us on our heels a little bit, and we needed Casey to step up in those moments. But like I said, Macy and KK were, my God, if they're not talked about this week, then people don't really know the game of football.
I keep seeing that you use the 3-4-3. What about that formation clicking?
Yeah, it didn't really click today. It just puts our players in the best spots for themselves, right? It puts our players in the best pockets. It gives us width, but when they matched us up, which we weren't expecting, and their athleticism, it made it really difficult. I mean, they have an immense amount of pace. I mean, the players they brought off the bench, I mean, I'd like one of them, right? I mean, I think most teams in the league, I mean, they brought speed, but we handled it really, really, really well. But look, it's only our third game playing this way, and again, this was a little bit different for us because when we established a rhythm, we were fine. When we didn't establish a rhythm, it was difficult. And the ability for us to cover ground defensively is sometimes hard. Hence the reason we need to have the ball. But yeah, it's just putting our players in the best spots based on who we have available on our roster. And that's our job as a staff, is to put our players in spots where their qualities can shine.
It looks like KK and Macy are developing a really good partnership in the back. What do you think the limit is for them to work together better?
I'll never put a limit on any player. There'll never be a limit. I think players can be as good as they want to be and as good as they're willing to be pushed. And that's, Macy stepped in big time, KK, those two have been absolutely tremendous. And Talia has stepped in well and done well. Ryan's been Ryan. As Ophelia, I thought was great tonight. But I think overall, I think the two of them, a game like today can help in that. But having Macy's pace in the back, I know, has helped KK, just because she doesn't get pulled out of areas that she doesn't want to be in. So it's kept KK more central. She could defend the middle part of the box much better, much easier, I should say. But again, I thought the two of them were brilliant, and we just gave up one in the corner. But proud of the group, I really am. When you're under that much pressure and the game's not going the way you want it to go, sometimes you can give in. But if anything, they rose, and I asked them to be better today than they were yesterday, and that's a question they all have to answer internally. But yeah, I think the two of them for sure are leaving here better than they did yesterday.
And then Jeff on Zoom.
She has a question.
I did first one. So you held it down for a pretty long time all the way to action time. Do you feel like if you actually won either defensively or offensively, what do you think really it would be like with the job?
I wouldn't put it in one particular moment. I think our ability to connect passes when we first win it. I think it's so when you win possession and you've been defending, you have to be able to connect the first couple of passes so you can sort of sustain and catch your breath. And we didn't do that in many moments. That kept us on edge a little bit. And I think that's something that we have to be better at. The transition ball, not to lead to transition, but the transition ball to establish possession, that was a little bit off today. I thought we were in a rush when we didn't need to be in a rush, especially late in the game, in the extra time, stoppage time. I felt like we were so excited to potentially get a result, and we were pissing the ball away, and then they came right back down our throat. So managing the game in that moment, being less chaotic. But there wasn't really one particular moment. I don't think that's fair. I mean, we could sit here and say this the goal. We can say, I won't do that because I won't do that to our players.
Then Jeff on Zoom.
Sean, I think you answered a bunch of my overarching questions. So maybe just for an individual like Jaden, what did you see from her tonight, and how do you see using her, what her role is evolving as you're integrating this new system?
Yeah, look, we stuck with the lineup because of the way we played against Utah. We didn't think there was a need for a change. There's going to be an integral part. My job as a coach is also to manage the kid because there's so many pressures put on her by media and fans and all that to be like the next anointed, player, and that's a lot of pressure for a young kid. And sometimes she, or any player, takes that. But I thought she was great tonight. Gave a massive piece of what we're going to do. I just felt as a coach, based on last week, we didn't want to make too many changes because I thought we were in a good rhythm, obviously against a different opponent. But I thought when she came in, she gave us a good energy, found good spots, played a good final ball in behind. I think it was to Ash. But yeah, right now I'm just trying to get her to clear her head because she puts so much pressure on herself. And as a young kid, I think too much pressure is put on her outside, and that's even more on top of her. And I want to make sure I take care of the kid because I want to make sure that she's realizing that we care about her, and she doesn't have to be the face of anything. She just has to enjoy her football, and I think too many people have put that pressure on her, and I'm going to make sure I don't.